As Forest are about to take on Olympiacos, Olympiacos fans are bitter and salty about why Scarpa chose Forest over Olympiacos. We'll explain to you exactly why with words directly from the legend's mouth. On top of that, I finally got hold of the team sheet for the team that started both halves against Astro Farms, and we'll show you how Scarpa fitted in. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are, whatever time of day you're watching this. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest news. As Forest are still in Greece playing their pre-season, mid-season friendly things. And we have Olympiacos coming up on Saturday at 5 p.m, which nicely sandwiches itself between the two World Cup games. And of course, we will have the watch along for you. Hopefully, Forest don't lock down the building, turn the cameras off, and just play without anyone watching. After all, as I think Adam mentioned in the comments, they're here to entertain us. So let's see them entertain away. Guys, let's talk about our boy Scarpa, because there's still so much that needs to be explained about him. In specific, his move from Nottingham Forest, which you could argue was surrounded with somewhat controversy again with Olympiacos. Initially, let me talk you through historically what was meant to happen. We were led to believe that he would join Olympiacos in January, and so were the Olympiacos fans. But there was this underlining wave about he would only join if there was Champions League football on the table for him. Olympiacos crashed out in the qualifiers and didn't make it through to the Champions League, so ended up in the Europa League. However, even there they were messing up. That is by and by, as Scarpa was only interested in the Champions League. So, because of that, because of their mess up, that's why he joined Nottingham Forest. But there's more to it than that. It actually turns out that he had no interest in joining Olympiacos, Champions League or not. And I'm going to quote to you from Scarpa himself, a conversation he had with Abel, his manager at Palmeiras. So let's jump into that now. All right, so Scarpa with a conversation with his manager, Abel Ferreira. This is what he said. He said, well, talking about it, should I say. He said, I had a conversation with Abel Ferreira because initially the proposal made to me was to go to Olympiacos and play in the Champions League. However, Olympiacos ultimately did not qualify for the Champions League. I called Abel because I wanted him to help facilitate me, because my dream was to compete in Europe. My dream was to play, not to play in Greece, but it could have been a stepping stone to go to a bigger league. And he said to me, dude, you're not going to Greece. I just find it hilarious. He goes, this is no place for you, but if you go to England, then you can leave. When the Nottingham Forest, love how he says that thing, was more intense, I went to speak to him again. Then he said to me, I can't refuse you. It's the best league in the world. Move on. Good luck. That's how things turned out. He's a pragmatist. So it's really interesting to see that Scarpa was there having many conversations with his manager. I love that about him, that he's quite open and honest, lets his manager know exactly where his mindset is at. But it was clear that Abel was able to convince him, should we say, that the move to Greece wouldn't suit him. And I think he's absolutely spot on. Moving to Greece at 28 years old would have meant he would have had at least half a season with them until the summer, if not, say, another season. That would bring him closer to like 30 years old as well. He's in the prime of his playing powers at 28, and he needs to be in the quote-unquote best league in the world with, no quotes, the best team in the world. So to me, it was clear to see that Scarpa's mind was hell-bent sent on coming straight into Nottingham Forest. And Olympiacos' loss is our gain, because he has started hot and he has started as he means to go on. And what I want to do now, I want to jump into the team sheet and show you exclusively how Forest lined up in their recent game the other day. I still, before we do it, think it's absolutely pathetic that no news or videos or goal clips or anything, even a Steve Cooper manager interview after the match, has been released by Nottingham Forest. I get it's a closed doors friendly, but we are Forest fans and we need to know what's going on with the club. We need to know what the manager thought at the very least of the performance. Was there any good performances that he wants to highlight from the players? Anything he saw that he liked, and so on and so forth. But it's just, look, I've ranted about it before. I'm not going to rant about it again. But let's get into the team sheet and show you a few interesting things about it. Before we do that, guys, though, please do hit that like button if you're enjoying the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to support us by becoming a member, hit that join button. It's only 99p, and I thank you all for your support. Let's jump into the team sheet. All right, so let's jump across to the team sheet. And look, I'll give you the caveat off the bat that I don't know exactly what position they played in. But to me, what's interesting and seems very clear from that setup was that it was in a 4-2-3-1. And I kind of like it. I kind of like that front four, apart from the odd tweak that I would make. Now, between the three of them, Dennis, Lingard and Scarpa, I've got them set up with Scarpa on the right, Lingard in the middle, and Dennis on the left with Owoni up front. I see no way that this could have been a 4-3-3 unless Cooper was putting Scarpa in the middle of midfield as like a false 10, if that's such a thing. Or an attacking mid. So it doesn't work. For me, it would need to be a 4-2-3-1 with that personnel. I think the middle three could have gone one of a few ways. He could have put Dennis on the right and Scarpa on the left. He could have put Scarpa in the middle, Lingard on the left, Dennis on the right. But the way from what I was reading about how the actual performance went, it seemed very clear that Scarpa was cutting in, crossing, and shooting. So I think he went like that. I really like that front four, apart from Lingard being changed for Morgan Gibbs-White. I really like that front four. I think that front four is terrifying. I don't like the two CMs. I'm fine with Yates, but Colback obviously needs to be a Freuler, or Yates needs to be a Mangala. My first choice would be Freuler and Mangala in the two there. And then across the back, Cook, no. Lodi, yes. Aurier, yes. Worrell, for now. I think, and it's telling, isn't it? It's telling that with this team, this was the first half team, by the way. We were winning 2-1 and apparently should have been up a few more as well. So if he did set it up in that formation, I'm very excited. I just honestly can't see another formation. You guys in the comments, let me know down below. Do you see another formation in which that could have been set up? For me, that's the only one. Yes, I don't know which way the middle three went. Obviously, Owoni clearly would have been the striker. But let me know what you think about that. And if he is doing that, then Cooper is evolving and developing, because I'm a firm believer with the personnel we've got, a 4-2-3-1 would suit us perfectly. Just those middle two midfielders need to change. And obviously Cook, for me, it's time for Cook to go. Let me know what you think. Let's have a look at the second half team. So as excited as I was with the formation from the first half, I was basically the opposite with what I could figure out from the second half. Back three. I hope I'm wrong. Look, maybe he put Bidet into midfield because, let's face it, he probably doesn't actually know where Bidet plays, seeing that we've seen so little of him. But it's quite clear to see that if you got Owoni on the pitch and Surridge on the pitch with MG Dub, that's going to be a 2 and a 1, so 2 9s and a number 10. And then you got that O'Brien Mangala combo, which I love. I love that in midfield. I'd be probably quite happy for them to be the 2 in the 4-2-3-1. But then he's gone with the 5 at the back, and it just, it doesn't work for me. I don't like it. And the score reflects that, because we won the first half 2-1, and we technically lost the second half 2-0. So hopefully Cooper's looked at that, because I still feel like he's itching for a back three at some point this season. Hopefully he's looked at that and realized, we won 2-1. And it wasn't exactly a youth team that came out in the second half either. You'd say pretty much all of these, apart from poor old Bidet, have had some kind of minutes, and Embasso, sorry, have had some kind of minutes in the Premier League, even if it's Surridge with a couple of cameos. What's interesting is Owoni got the full 90. So that still makes me convinced that he's number 1 at number 9. Unless we pick someone up in the January window, which I think we will. But overall, the personnel, like, I don't like it. I don't like it in terms of the formation. Doesn't work for me. Let me know down below which of these two formations you prefer, and then which of these two team lineups do you prefer? Obviously, it's going to be skewed for me because Scarpina was in the first one, but overall, I would personally go with that first one. All right, guys, so that wraps us up with that formation. Coming up tomorrow, we've got the match preview for Olympiacos versus Nottingham Forest. We've got something launching tomorrow that should hopefully excite you guys, so keep an eye out for that. We're developing this channel. There's going to be loads more content and loads of different formats of content as well, just to keep you guys on your toes and give you as much variety as possible. So if you haven't already, guys, please do not forget, if you've enjoyed the video, to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'd love your support as a member for 99p, and you'll get the channel perks. And then finally, if you guys could go and give me a quick follow on Twitter, it's Wolverine8125, where I banter with all the opponent fans, and you can join in and help me with that. Please do so. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.